Hey friend, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to mix a Rhodes electric piano in just 2 steps. We're going to be looking at mixing a Rhodes electric piano sound here today using just EQ and compression, and this is going to help you achieve a warm electric piano sound that still cuts through the mix. Before we jump in here though, if you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process, in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an audio engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF guide that will walk you through the entire mixing process step by step to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and take a look at this electric piano sound. I'm going to hit play, of course, first here, and you can hear the finished mix for this song, and then I'll solo up our Rhodes, and you can hear what our finished Rhodes sound is sounding like as well. So here's our finished mix for this track. So that's our finished Rhodes sound for this track, and you can hear it has all of the warmth that you want from an electric piano sound, but it also has that nice brightness and attack to it, so it still cuts through in the track. There's only keyboards and strings going on in this track. There's no guitars or anything like that, so we need to make up for that by giving this Rhodes that brightness and that little bit of attack that's going to fill the void of the pick hitting the strings on like an electric or acoustic guitar that you would normally hear in a track like this, in a classic rock style track. So let's jump in here and take a look at what we're doing on the Rhodes here. I'm going to play it for you one more time, and I'll A-B our plugins here. You can hear where we started and where we ended up. So here's without any of the processing, and then I'll kick it in. You can hear we really clean up the bottom end and that low mid energy, so it's not so heavy sounding, it's just warm sounding. And then we're really shooting to emphasize that kind of belly tone that you get from a Rhodes electric piano to give us the brightness and give us some attack. So I'm going to take off our fat channel compressor here. We're just going to look at the EQ to start. Just 2 moves here on our EQ. Our first move is, of course, a high pass filter. I've got it rolled all the way up to 182 hertz here. Take a listen without it, and then I'll kick it in. You can hear the difference it's making on the Rhodes. You can see from the frequency analyzer here that the heart of our sound here on the electric piano is from about 200 hertz up to about 3K here. Everything outside of that isn't really contributing crucial energy for this sound and for the track overall. Everything below about 200 hertz here is too heavy for us to try and emphasize on this track because we have piano, we have synths, we have strings, and we have our bass and our kick drum going. So everything below that isn't essential for this track. We don't need to hear that coming from the Rhodes sound. So I'm rolling all of that off. We're tightening up our bottom end, and we're cleaning up a little bit of the low mids here because you can see our high pass is reaching up a little bit towards 300 here, and it cleans up our Rhodes sound overall. overall. So it's not so heavy sounding, it's just warmer sounding in the bottom end. So take a listen one more time without it and then with the high pass. Just getting rid of some of that heaviness there. Now, before we get to our last point here on our EQ, I'm going to jump forward to our compression. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know I usually reach for this Everest C100A compressor for electric guitar. To me, electric piano and Rhodes and those kind of instruments feel more like an electric guitar style instrument than a normal piano does. So I'm going to treat it closer to an electric guitar. If we zoom out here, you can see our Rhodes isn't very dynamic. If we look at it compared to our piano, you can see there's a lot more peaks and valleys. On our piano, it's a little bit more percussive than our Rhodes is. Our Rhodes feels a little bit more like an electric guitar, so I'm going to compress it more like an electric guitar. It's already kind of even here, so I don't need something super fast that's going to grab a lot of peaks here. I just want to clamp down on it a little bit to even out some of the sound, and I don't want something that's going to change the tone too much either, and the Everest C100A is going to give me that. It's just going to solidify what we already have in terms of tone on the Rhodes sound here. So let me kick this in here, and I'll bypass it first, and then I'll kick it in. I've got the attack set in the middle here, so a medium attack, and then a fast release for this unit. We're only going to be doing maybe 3 dB reduction here. So a couple things to note here with this compressor. What I would normally reach for on keyboards and on piano is the 1176 style compressor. This shapes the tone a little bit more than something like the C100A. I'm pretty happy with the sound of the Rhodes. It's warm at this point. It's not too heavy in the bottom end, and I don't want to change that. Using something that's more aggressive, like an 1176 style compressor, is going to bring up more of that low mid energy. I don't want to do that. I just kind of want to solidify and concrete in the sound that's already there. A slower, gentler style compressor like the Everest C100A here is going to give me that. It evens out the volume. It's not grabbing the peaks too aggressive. It's being gentle, and it's just kind of concreting in what we've already shaped with our EQ. Only doing about 3 dB reduction there. Now we're going to jump back to our EQ, and we're going to add some of that brightness. I like to boost top end into compression rather than setting my EQ up and then doing my compression and then having to come back and kind of tweak the top end to set it the way I want to. I like to get my EQ set, get rid of what I don't need, then get my compressor going, and then come back and boost top end into the compressor. So we're up at 3K here. That's kind of the top end on our Rhodes sound here, and I'm going to boost 6 dB. That's going to emphasize that belly sound and give us some brightness and attack as well. Now with a 6 dB boost, you'd probably expect a bigger change in tone. There's not that much energy up here in the 3-4K area to begin with. So a 6 dB boost isn't going to feel as drastic as it normally would if there was more energy up here. We're just bringing up the super top end on this Rhodes sound. It's not the super top end in general, right? We're not up at 8 and 9K, but it is the super top end for this sound. There's not much energy up there. It's kind of the top end here for our Rhodes sound. So bringing that up 6 dB gives us just enough of that kind of belly sound and just enough brightness for this sound to cut through in the track. So let me do an overall A-B here one more time on our Rhodes sound, and we'll throw it back in the track as well. That's how we're getting our Rhodes sound to be warm and bright so it's still cutting through in our track. 2 steps, just 2 tools here. Our EQ, getting rid of the heavy bottom end, boosting up some of that belly sound, some of that brightness, and then using our compression to concrete in the EQ tone that we've set with our EQ and to gently compress our Rhodes sound overall. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to take your mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your workflow as an audio engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can get access to it by using the link below in the video description. It's going to help you get more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.